Hello friends, in this video we are going to see about probability in daily life and some basics of probability. First part is introduction, a branch of mathematics concerned with the study of randomness and uncertainty is called as probability. What is the probability? It is measure of how often particular event will happen if something is done repeatedly. If an event is certain to happen, then it is a probability is 1. If an event is not certain happens, then probability is 0. Probability is always between 0 and 1. Examples of probability. If you draw a card from a standard deck of cards, what is the probability of not drawing a spade? In a certain population, 10% of people are rich, 5% are famous, and 3% are both rich and famous. A person is randomly selected from this population. What is the chance that the person is not rich but not famous, either rich or famous? Like these examples. Randomness of experiment. Examples: tossing a coin once or several times. It is an example for probability. Picking a card or cards from a deck. Sample space. What is sample space? In probability theory, a sample space of an experiment or random trial is the set of all possible outcomes or results of that experiment. Here we see the example for pair of dice thrown. 1 to 6, 1 to 6 are 36 outcomes. Possible outcomes. The result of a random experiment is called outcomes. Example: tossing a coin and getting up head or tail is an outcome. Throwing a dice and getting a no between 1 to 6 is also an outcome. Event. An possible outcome of a random experiment is called an event. The probability of an event denoted by P of E is the likelihood of that event occurring. Example: performing an experiment is called trial and outcomes are termed as event. Favorable event. The number of outcomes which result in the happening of a desired event are called favorable cases of the event. Example for favorable event: in a single throw of dice, the number of favorable cases of getting an odd number are 3. Relative frequency. What is relative frequency? Relative frequency is another term of proportion. It is the value calculated by dividing the number of times an event occurs by the total number of times an experiment is carried out. It is the relative frequency. Conditional probability. What is conditional probability? In many situations, once more information becomes available, we are able to revise our estimates for the probability of further outcomes or events happening. For example, suppose you go out for the lunch at the same place with probability 0.9. However, given that you notice that the restaurant is exceptionally busy, then probability may reduce to 0.7. History of probability. The 17th century records the first use of probability theory. In 1654, Chevalier was trying to establish if such an event has probability greater than 0.5. Puzzled by this and their similar gambling problems, he called the attention of famous mathematician Blaise Pascal. In turn, this led to an exchange of letters between Pascal and another famous French mathematician, Pierre de Fermat, this becoming the first evidence of probability. This is the history of probability. Thank you friends.